So let me just press record and start. I've been avoiding, procrastinating, wondering, waiting to make my first long-form video for this channel for months now. I moved into my van at the beginning of December, and I started making shorts fairly shortly after that, within the first few days. And I've been making YouTube shorts every day since then. And I wanted to make shorts right off the bat to kind of get the audience and get some attention. But I intended to be making long-form videos by January, by the 1st of January. And I still hadn't. It's now the 1st of March, 2nd maybe? But I still hadn't made any long-form videos. And there's some reasons for that. The biggest reason being, I didn't know if I could keep doing it. I didn't know if I could keep it up. I didn't want to start yet another YouTube channel where I make 2 or 3 videos and then stop. Or I make 20 or 30 videos and then stop. Or I make 2 years worth of videos and it gets nowhere. I didn't want to make just another failed YouTube channel. I've got a dozen of those under my belt already, and I don't want to do another one. This van life channel, this is important to me. This means something to me. This is a core value of mine. It's something I've been dreaming of for years, and I don't want it to fail. And that fear of failing has held me back, has stopped me. Because here's the truth. This van that I've been living in is the second vehicle I bought with a GoFundMe that I had ran for the last 2 or 3 months I was in my home. Because I couldn't afford to buy a vehicle to live in. I bought the vehicle I dreamed of buying, a Chevy Avalanche, and blew the engine out of it 15 minutes out of town. So then I took what money I had left and I bought this van, hoping that I could then insure it and drive it. And while the insurance company did give me insurance for it, they only gave me 30 days of insurance until I could get an insurance inspection, because the van is old enough, it needs to be inspected to ensure that it's roadworthy. And I had till just after Christmas to do that inspection. But they didn't cancel my insurance after 30 days like they said they would. So I kept driving my van. I stayed with family for a while when I thought I wasn't allowed to drive, when I thought I had no insurance. And then another insurance payment came out of my bank account in January, at the middle of January. So then I went driving some more. I went and hung out in the city and lived in my van the way I wanted to be, what I've always wanted to be doing. The whole time, throughout all of December and January and even February, I've been buying upgrades, cheap little ones, like $30, $50 ones. The biggest, most expensive thing I bought for my van was a diesel heater for $150. None of that money could I have used to do the repairs the car needed, because the repairs are in the 4-digit numbers that the car needs. So I couldn't have used that money to do the repairs on the car. But I did use that money to repair my van, or not to repair my van, to upgrade my van, to add things like a water jug, or lighting, or insulation for the windows, and of course recently this diesel heater. And with all of these upgrades, every upgrade I get, I feel more and more free, more and more who I want to be, who I believe I am, who I love to be. In fact, just moving into the van in the first place, taking all my stuff out of the Airbnb I was staying in and throwing it in this van and driving away, felt a deep sense of relief, a deep sense of finally I'm where I want to be. I can go where I want, drive where I want, and be around the people that I want to be around. I can go to the mall. I can go to a concert. I can go hang out with my kids. I can go hang out with my friends. I can go be places, do things, and be around people that I want to be around. Finally, I could have that life that living in a sticks and bricks home never, ever provided me. I felt free. Even just moving into my car and running it, idling it all day and all night to stay warm. In December, when it was minus 30 average, I felt more free than I have ever felt in a sticks and bricks home. And I'm not financially capable of doing the repairs on this car yet, on this van yet. And I got a notice the other day that they are going to cut off my insurance as of the 10th of March. So I won't have the ability to drive this van. I'm going to have to go park it at somebody's place and leave it there until I can figure out how to get the money to put the repairs into it. Or, better yet, because of how much this van is going to cost to repair, I've been told by several sources that it would be cheaper to buy a different van that doesn't need repairs. So, whichever of those happens first, whichever of those I can afford, whichever of those gives me an opportunity, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to be forced to go and park at somebody's house. And I'm not interested. I'm not going to make typical van life content. I'm not going to film myself running around the van or I can't film myself driving around the van if I'm not driving. I can't film myself going to different places and being around different people, and I'm not going to film myself doing things in that person's yard or that person's home, because that's their sanctity, not mine. And I will still be living in my van while I'm parked in their yard, because as I said, I've made a bunch of upgrades in this van that make that cheap and easy to do. I just won't be able to legally drive it or have it on public spaces or public roads because it won't be insured. And that's why I have been struggling to make these videos. That's why I've been struggling to do long-form content. Had I known back in December that I would have till March 10th, had I known then how long it would take them to cancel my insurance, I might have been making long-form videos these last 2 or 3 months. Believing, trusting, hoping that making long-form videos could help me get closer to monetized and therefore have the income to put the repairs into the vehicle or get something that I don't need to repair. But I thought I had a month. I thought I had less than a month, because I bought the truck, which is where the 30 days started, and then it was 10 days later before I bought this van. So I was already minus 10 days, and part of that was over Christmas holidays. So what was I going to do? So had I known I had another 3 months still, or 2 months, I might have been able to make more long-form content and hopefully monetize this channel. I didn't. I was scared that I was going to make 1 or 2 videos and then be parked in somebody's yard and not be able to make any more long-form videos. Or rather, the only videos that I would be allowed to make or able to make or willing to make would be videos like this one of me sitting in my van, not going anywhere and not showing life in my van, not showing the life I want to exist. And like others have said who live in their vehicles over the winter, I'm here in Canada. It's really cold at the winter time here. So I'm not out and about doing very much outside my van. Sure, I walk into the store, or I walk into the library, or I walk into the rec center, or I walk into a restaurant or a coffee shop. Sure, I walk into places, but I'm not outside very much at all. It hurts to be outside. And sure, we've had some unseasonably warm temperatures where it was closer to freezing, but it's still not pleasant to be hanging out there. So I haven't been making videos because I was scared that I was going to have to stop making videos, that I wouldn't be able to make videos. But here I am. The cutoff date for my insurance is a week away. I have a week left where I'm legally allowed to drive around in my van. And I'm scared. But you know what else? I love living in this van. I am happier, more free, more stable, more productive, more friendly than I've ever been. I get more done. Sure, I haven't been recording long form videos, but I've recorded a short every day for just short of 90 days. I've put together a lot of work in the back end to work on my mindset, work on how I think of living in my van, because I'm not just some homeless guy living in his van. Sure, I moved into my van. The initiating event was that I got kicked out of my home. But I've been dreaming of living in my truck originally, the Chevy Avalanche that I bought originally, for nearly a decade. I've lived in my Chevy Avalanche before, in 2019. And I loved it. I want to do it again. But quite honestly, living in this van has grown on me quite a lot. I've quite enjoyed living in this van. It has features my truck wouldn't ever have. It's cheaper on gas, first of all, so I can run it all day, every day, for $25 a day if I have to. I don't have to anymore because now I have a diesel heater. I can drive it places. I can drive it all over the city for days and barely use any gas at all. And where I put the diesel heater, I installed it under the floor in what a Dodge Caravan calls a stow-and-go compartment. Between the driver's seat and the second row seating, where the second row seating where we plant our feet, right there are cubbies on both the passenger and driver's side. You open up the floor and there's a cubby below the floor. I installed my diesel heater down there. It's about 12 inches deep and about, 12, 13 inches wide. I can put a paper box sideways in that cubby, and I could probably put another half of one with it. So it's a pretty big compartment. And that's where I put my diesel heater. It's not up in the main area of the vehicle anymore. It's hidden. And there's lots of things about this van that I like. It's not my truck, but I like it. I love it. The freedom I feel, the freedom I have right now. It's wonderful. Not just the freedom, but the ability to choose my destination, to choose my destiny, to choose my schedule, my life. I do have a job. I do make money. I am a life coach. I do serve people. I have been making around $10,000 a year for the last 4 years running. So I'm not broke. I'm also not making much money. Life coaching is what I do full time. I've had between 7 and 10 clients at any given time for 5 years now. They're just not high paying clients. They're not high ticket clients. They're not the clients that most life coaches scramble for. I'm willing to serve those who just need help and can't afford to pay much. I like to serve them. They're the ones who need help more than the rich guys. So I help people. And it's nearly full time. I'm spending between 25 and 40 hours a week on phone calls. And I wouldn't want to do anything else. This is what I love to do. This is why I'm doing YouTube on the side. YouTube with it. YouTube as well. Because if I can show how to build the life I want to build, maybe I can show others how to build the life they want to build. And what I've discovered What I've learned living in my van these last 3 months is that there is no amount of stability that I would get from living in a sticks and bricks home that can replace the freedom I feel living in my vehicle. Sure, I haven't had the money to travel across the country and run all over the place like I wanted to. In fact, my original plan was to jump in my truck and drive out to the coast, out to Vancouver. I'm living here in Alberta in Canada. My plan was to drive out to the coast to Vancouver and live either in Vancouver or on Vancouver Island for the winter, and then travel the country while it was warmer out. I didn't get to do that because I couldn't insure my vehicle. I didn't even know if it could drive that far. I still don't. And now here it is March and winter's nearly over. And I never did get to the coast for the winter the way I wanted to. But I learned how to be safe, warm, and happy in this van in the cold Canadian prairie winters. And I wouldn't trade that experience for anything. I've loved it. Sure, there's been times I've been scared. Sure, I've been wondering when are they going to cut off the insurance? When am I not going to be able to drive anymore? When has that been scary? Sure, I've been asking myself, when are you going to start making long-form videos? And when are you going to start talking about your experiences? When are you going to share this journey? Sure, I've been struggling and there's things that I'm not doing and things that I am doing. But I've learned. I've learned that Reflectix on my windows, the foil-wrapped bubble insulation for my windows, has doubled the amount of time I can leave my car off, or rather, essentially doubled the insulation I have in my car. When that was the first upgrade I added for my car, and I ran my car to warm it up, I could leave it off for twice as long once I put the Reflectix in all the windows. I've learned that while there is many places you're not allowed to park overnight, nearly all of them you can park during business hours. So all I needed to do was worry about where to park at night, because I can park at nearly any business parking lot, especially the bigger ones like grocery stores and Walmarts and places like that, Canadian Tires, big department stores. They have big parking lots. And while at Christmas time they're mostly full, they're not for the rest of the year. They're not going to notice me parking there for several hours during the day. Not only that, there are libraries I can go to. Public libraries with public Wi-Fi. Where I can charge up my Jackery, my power station, my portable battery. Where I can charge that up during the day and let that charge the car battery that's running my diesel heater at night. While it also charges my other devices like my phone and my laptop. Sure, Wi-Fi is sometimes hard to find. Reliable, decent Wi-Fi is sometimes hard to find. But I got an incredible data plan on my phone because, as a life coach, I have clients all over the place, including in the States and other countries. Therefore, I have a phone plan, a robust phone plan that lets me call all over the place and automatically comes with a ton of free data. So I can just hotspot my computer to my phone if I need to use my computer. Plus, I do most things on my phone anyway. When it comes to my client calls, I just happen to have a lot of clients who would rather phone calls than video. I've been doing video calls most of my coaching career, but in the last year or so, most of them preferred phone calls. Or at least if we're doing Zoom or something like that, they don't want no video because many of my clients are blind. So they don't need video. They're not seeing me. Why would they need me to see them? So we do phone calls or just plain audio calls. Therefore, I don't need as much bandwidth. I don't need as much internet. It doesn't use as much power for that. My data lasts longer. I found a way to set up a desk, an office setup in this second row seating. On the driver's side, I put a big bed platform where I sleep. But on the passenger side, the second row seating, I put my laptop up on the back of the passenger seat because it's of the of the setting of the way the back of the passenger seat is set, I can put my laptop up there. I can set it up there, strap it to the back of the driver's seat or the passenger seat, and then sit in my chair, my second row seating. And that is a bucket seat, so I can lean back or lean forward or move it up, move it back. And I can make myself comfortable and work on my laptop for hours. Or while I'm charging my portable batteries, portable power station, my Jackery in the library, I can also work there, which I do. Every time I go in there, I'm working. I don't just sit there charging my battery. I do something on my computer. I talk with AI about my YouTube channel. I plan videos. I create content. I do all kinds of things while I'm working there. The only thing I don't do while I'm in the library is any of my calls, because those are private. So I do those in my car, in my van. I really like this life that I'm building. I really like the customizability, the way that the van that I have, although tiny as far as living space is concerned, it's also really tiny when it comes to organizing it. I don't have a bathroom, a bedroom, a kitchen, a living room, a hallway, a boot room, an entrance to clean, to organize, to sort. I mean, I have versions of all those rooms in my little 60 square feet. But to clean this van out, to organize this van, takes me 10, 15 minutes. I haven't done a proper cleaning and vacuuming of all the floors because it's been deathly cold outside. But come the spring, when it's warming up, which will be another month or so, I will do that. I have all the tools that I need. I have two bags of tools, including cordless drills and things, and two kits with all the sockets and drill bits and things that I need. I have those running around in my van. I have my bed platform built up a few inches, several inches, so that I can put bins underneath to store all my food and my clothing and my extra things. I have decorations put up. I've got this lighting here, what some people call fairy lighting. It's just Christmas lights, but a lot of people that live in their van call it fairy lighting, because it's a way just to light up the inside of the van when it's dark outside, to see what you're doing. It's not enough to read or write, but I'm doing most of that on my computer anyway, so I don't need the fairy lights for that. I did manage to buy a couple of portable work lights, so if I actually do need proper lighting for something, I've got those, and they're USB rechargeable, so they charge off my Jackery as well. Virtually everything I have does. These fairy lights are the only thing that I have that uses AA batteries. Everything else is rechargeable. So I've managed to get some upgrades. I've managed to build this van of mine into a home, an office, a home away from home, a mobile office, what do they call it? A work from home rig, right? It's high tech. It's custom built, custom designed, and custom equipped to live exactly how I want to live. I've got the heater, I've got a bed, I've got a desk, I've got a table, I've got everything I could want. I've got storage, and the whole damn thing is on wheels. And while it's not mechanically sound, it does run, it does drive. This is more than I dreamed of. I thought I was going to have to make sacrifices. I thought I was going to have to live in coffee shops and Planet Fitness and all these other services and buildings in order to make this work. I can do almost all of that in my van. The only thing I can't do is some bathroom activities and showering. Those are the only things I can't do in my van. Even charging my Jackery, even charging my power station, it has a DC charge cable. When I'm driving my van, it charges. Just I don't drive it a lot. Therefore, I have to take it in places to charge it. But virtually everything I need to do, I can do from inside my van. And those couple of things I can't do, I just need a rec center. And I can bathe there. I can have a proper shower before I go swimming. And then I have another shower after I'm done. As far as shaving, I have an electric razor. I use one of those. I also have a beard trimmer. I love trimming my beard outside because I don't got to worry about cleanup. It's nature. As long as I'm not doing it in somebody's yard or somebody's home or somebody's car, I'm fine. Just go out in the field a little bit, a few feet out in the field. And if it's a little bit windy, gently windy, even better, because then it's blowing my whiskers all over the place and not concentrating them into some mess someplace. I love trimming my beard. Actually, I've been doing that for years, trimming my beard outside. I love it. I love this life. This represents everything I want to be. And so I'm sorry that I haven't been making the videos that I wanted to make. I'm sorry that I haven't introduced you to myself and my life. And I'm about to change that. I don't know how long I'm going to publish these videos. And I didn't publish the channel welcome video that I wanted to publish first. I didn't create the perfect van life videos that I wanted to create, that I've been waiting to create. I haven't done any of those, and I'm not sure when I'll be able to. And for those of you who do want to help out, I will leave the link for my GoFundMe in my description of this video, but that's not what I'm making this video for. I just wanted to let you know that what I'm doing, what I'm here for, and what I love about this life. I moved into my van because I felt trapped, stifled, bound, limited, living in a sticks and bricks home. Especially in the towns I could afford to do that. Small towns that didn't have any of the amenities that I wanted from the big cities. Now, living in my van, I can be in the big city for cheaper than living in a home anywhere. My diesel heater cost me less than $100 a month to heat my van. My van costs me about $100 or $200 a month for driving around. The rest goes to food. A few subscriptions to help me run my business, and a couple for my personal benefit. But I don't have much. I don't need much. I don't spend much. I make about $1,000 a month from coaching. And that's all I need. That isn't enough to put repairs into this car or to save up to buy a different car. But it is enough to keep me going in this van. And I love this life. In case you haven't heard it already, this is my dream. This has been my dream, and this is my dream. And I will keep dreaming it. For those of you who are wondering, I have recently come up with a name for my van. I'm calling it the Nexus Zero. Nexus, because it is the central hub for my high-tech life. And Zero, because it's the prototype of the Nexus. So, on a later video when it's warmer outside, I will do a better introduction to Nexus Zero and the things that I've done to her. Welcome to my channel. If you have any questions, any thoughts, any observations, please leave them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I have heard from a bunch of you on my shorts, and I look forward to hearing from you again. Thank you for joining me in this video. And if you've stuck around to the end, please let me know. I'd love to know. I'd love to hear from you. Please like the video, of course. That always helps. We always appreciate that. And YouTube, it helps YouTube to recognize the value this video has and therefore push it to other people. And if this content is of interest to you, subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'll see you in the next video.